Well, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be back. George Morgan here at your service. It's PSGL, it's Wednesday night, it's Spain tonight as well. Lots on the table, lots of battling. The title contest is still alive and kicking. And Jack, it's only taken us 10 rounds. We're on the 11th. It's all to play for.
Boromant goes on the inside and takes the lead on the final lap of the race. Now it's side by side between Boromant and Warner, but Boromant's got the inside.
Literally a guest star here in this phenomenal race. Cameron Dowd looking to take P2 in his very first PSGL F1 PC race. Incredible to say the least. You see that Putin to lead. 1.5 seconds. DRS is the name.
Good evening, everybody, and a very warm welcome to PSGL Season 35, believe it or not. We are back here on Monday evenings for the top tier on PlayStation. Hope you are well. We're ready to kick-start another season here at PlayStation. My name is GeForce, and joining me once again for another season, we brought him back. It's Mr. James Head. James, how you doing?
I am doing really, really well, Jess. Hope you're doing well as well. Hope everyone is doing well in the chat. It's going to be a fantastic night's worth of racing here in Japan. Hopefully, the season starts off as we mean to go on and not like last season.
Yes, there were a few questionable driving standards in some of the races, but we had some great races as well, so we can't really draw on that too much as well. But we'll go through the grid in just a minute. We got some really great drivers in this season, but let's talk about the calendar first of all. It is probably one of my favourite calendars at PSGL. It's got such a great variety of tracks, some difficult tracks as well. And obviously they have to have some street tracks. I think they got quite a lot of street tracks on there, but ones I actually like as well. So let's have a look. So tonight, the drivers will be going to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. We'll tell you a little bit more about the track in just a moment. And then we head to one of our favourite races from last season, Qatar. That's going to be around 2 on the 6th of November. Then we head to Hungary, which is going to be on the 30th of November. I loved racing on that track on this game, so should be another good one. Usually not a good track for league racing, though. It always produces chaos. Let's hope we don't get the same in PSF1. Then we got a break week to get everyone recharged, ready for the 27th of November, round number 4 in Vegas, the newest track on the PSGL calendar and in the F1 game. We were going to race there last season, but there were problems with it for track limits, but hopefully it's fixed right now and we should be very excited to get racing for that. Round 5 take us to Austria, which is always another classic at PSGL's history, at 4th of December. Then we head to Monza on the 11th of December. Then we head to Singapore on the 18th of December. And then we got a winter break because, of course, we don't want to race at Christmas. And then we are back on the 8th of January 2024 in Spain, the day after my birthday. Luckily, I'm not commentating on my birthday. Then we got, on January 15th, we got Miami, another United States track. Then we head to home at British Motorsport on the 22nd of January, and then Bahrain on the 29th of January to round off the season. We will know then who is crowned champion in season 35. A lot of good tracks around there. Which one is your favourite, James?
Honestly, I'm looking forward to being back home. Britain, round 10. That is going to be the deciding round, I think, of the championship. It's just written in the stars, potentially, for someone like Cameron Dowd, potentially, to take the win. He is back, of course, this season on PlayStation. Actually, his first time in PlayStation, PSF1. PCF1 podium sitter, of course. Las Vegas is going to be interesting, round 4 as well, just after the break week, so Vegas is going to be very interesting. They fixed the track limits, of course, around there as well. And Singapore before winter break. I am a fan of Singapore on this game, despite my hatred in the past on these games, but Singapore is one of my favourite tracks on this game. It promotes a lot of overtaking. That is going to be very key. Spain, Miami, Britain, Bahrain, very good races to end off the season. But yeah, Japan tonight, going to be really interesting. Qatar, Hungary, first 2 rounds of the championship. But Japan here tonight in the first focus here at the Suzuka International Circuit. Going to be interesting for our drivers, of course. Last time we came here, Kian took the win. Brad is finishing in 2nd. Max in 3rd. Max, the only one of the top 3 retained from the podium places last season in PSF1.
Yes, and speaking of PSF1 drivers, before we start, because the lobby should be getting underway shortly, let's have a look at our drivers I'll be racing in this tier. Only a few changes, only a few people promoted from PSF2. But we've got Louis and Keke in the Alfa Romeo. We've got Ryderdale and Stefano in the Haas. We've got Max and Bender in the AlphaTauri. We've got Cazidel and Sam Gamer in McLaren. We've got Lars and Francesco in the Alpine. We've got Tom and Volakongan in the Mercedes. We've got Markados and Ryan in the Aston Martin. We've got Aurelian and Uron in the Red Bull. We've got Nando and Moborak in the Ferrari. And we got Marlon and Erpek in the Williams. And for those of you that don't know Erpek did a outstanding job in PSF2 last season. He was crowned the PSF2 champion with a few rounds to go, so he deserves his chances in the top division. And of course, we got our reserves. We got Cornet, who also makes a return to the PS side after moving from PC. We got Wiener. We got Cameron Downs, as James just mentioned. He's racing tonight in replace of one of the Alpines. Now we got Stefano, and of course, Season 26 PSF1 champion Gil is going to be back racing with us as a reserve. And of course, I commentated on him when he was racing in PSF2 before I went on to PSF1. So there we go. That is your grid. James, what do you think?
Packed full of talent, packed full of really good drivers, new faces like Keke and Erpek. Erpek, of course, winning the title last season in PSF2. Will he do a Jerry Van Bussel and do back-to-back championships from F2 to F1 like he did last season? He, of course, is going to be in PCF2 this season. Very interesting lineups as well, I think, from the OP standpoint. Marcos and Ryan in the Aston Martin, Nando Mubarak in the Ferrari. They're definitely teams to watch out for as well. I'm going to shoehorn my bets, though, already on Cazizl and Sam Gamer. That is, on their day, a very strong pairing in the McLaren. Going to be very interesting to see how they cope. Cazizl, I know, has got a little bit of work commitment, so he might be not showing up every week. Sam Gamer as well, Canadian, having to wake up pretty early, I think, for these races. I think it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon over there. But that is a very good pairing, I think, for the McLarens. The likes of Cameron Dowds filling in reserve. GL, of course, going to be filling in as a reserve as well. They're both here, of course, here tonight. GL is not, but Cameron Dowds definitely is. Wiener definitely is as well. The drivers are out on track now, which should be good to go around Team Suzuka. I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well. Make sure you share your love and support for all the drivers in the chat. Let us know who you're rooting for this season. We'll also go through a few thoughts of the drivers in just a few moments, but let's have a quick look at this track then. 5.807 kilometers long, 3.608 miles, 18 turns, and only one DRS zone, which is at the start finish straight. A lot of elevation changes and a lot of corners, which I really like on this game, especially the S's section, which is reminiscent of the Maggot and Beckett section that we all know and love. But we are about to get underway. I'm trying to find the first driver who is about to start a lap. I think it's Yaron. There's a lot of people heading towards 130 yards. So we are about to get going. So there we go. We got the scene going as well. Or Gucci. First Grand Prix 1987, won by Gerhard Berger. 27 lap away our driver, and of course it was Kian that took the victory. And it was a test track for Japanese manufacturer Honda back in 1962. But James, for the first time this season, take us on board a lap around Suzuka with your own.
Yeah, let's run on board with your own, coming through the right-hand of turn number 1, through the right-hand of turn number 2, then in towards the S section, of course, this infamous S section, out on track, through 3, through the right-hand of 4, through the left-hand of turn number 5, flick the car down into 5th gear, then cascade your way through the right-hand of turn number 6, in towards the Dunlop curve, one of the highest speed points of the first sector, and your own looking very good as it comes through there, as now comes embarks on the deck. There's a 30.9 on the first sector, very rapid through the first sector, as now comes through the sector 2, on and up towards where Kvyat spun famously in 2015 around here on the grass. Your own not catching the grass though into the hairpin, looking very nicely done indeed, as now comes out of the hairpin, on the run through 200R, on the run now down in towards the Spoon Curve. Spoon Curve, one of the most infamous corners on this circuit. You've got to take this pretty much on the limit in terms of the fuel and in terms of the speed as well. Beautifully done out of the first part. There at the second part of the Spoon Curve. Very nicely done from your own. Looking very solid, I've got to say, on this lap. So now runs uphill. This camber change again. About a 50-metre camber change down from this part of the circuit. 109.8 in that middle sector. Looking very good as he flies through 130R. And now into the Casio Triangle section at 16. Then through the left-hander at turn number 17. And then through the bump of turn number 18 on the run start. That's a lap for Suzuka. That's a lap on board with your own. And a 26.2 to start the night. It's not shabby at all.
Yes, it's definitely not too shabby as well. Volaconga just came across the line as well in a P2. We got, I think, both of the McLarens coming up there. Sam Gamer decides, no, thank you very much. You're not taking that pole, Missy. He goes fast with your own. Still in second. Francesco as well in P1. Now, just a quick mention as well. We've had 2 reserves come up as full-time drivers. One of them is Francesco. He's been looking quick on the last few weeks. It's great to see him getting a full-time seat after scoring some decent points when he got moved up, when he got pretty much signed up mid-season to F1. One of the only new drivers to do that, which was great to see as Mulboa comes across the line in P2. The Pad Goat. Let's see who else is about to cross the line. We've got one of the Hasses coming across the line. That was Riders out in P7. Great to see him back in this league. Let's watch his teammate Stefano, who wasn't in Mercedes last season. He said he's got a point to prove because he was near the bottom of this grid, but luckily with most of the guys moving on PC, he's got another chance in F1 in 15th spot. Here comes Cameron Dowes. Now there's a lot of things to say about this guy. He was on PC, like we were saying, moving up to PlayStation, a lot of stats to add to his resume, and he's got his qualifying to a flying start. He slots himself into P2. Let's have a quick look at his stats, actually, because it's amazing. 9 wins at PSGL, 30 podiums. He was in F3R before it closed down on the PS side as well. And he was a PSGL F5 Drivers Champion in Season 29. And, of course, he got a P2 in PCF1 one season, which is not too shabby at all. So, really good to start his PSF1 campaign.
Yeah, definitely. So I've had the privilege actually of doing a race already with Cameron Dowes. Last Wednesday, he was racing on the PlayStation platform just to try and get used back on the PS side. And I tell you what, he was very good until he got hit by somebody in that race. He was looking very, very good, still strong in terms of his pace. And that pace is actually proven as he's actually gone off through Degner 1 and 2. And he's actually beached nearly on the grass coming through that part of the circuit, not the Dowes wants to be ending off his night, let alone starting. He has reset the track though, and that is because he got beached on the grass. And it actually looks like, has he got a puncture or something? This car is going extremely slowly, coming through Degner 2. Not sure if there's an issue potentially with Cameron Dowes. Certainly going to be. He might have run out of fuel. Yeah, I think it could well be actually that he's run out of fuel.
Yeah, he's run out of fuel. He's got red light on and it's not flashing, so yeah, he's on low fuel mode.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. I thought it was more serious than that. But Cameron Dowes there in second. Behind Max. Max currently on top right now from Cameron Dowes in second. Mubarak there in third. The only driver actually that didn't get a lap time in. F2 champion Erpek there. Signed to F7R, of course. And Erpek looking to try and provide a really good result. Of course, formerly of NLR Esports, he's looking to try and provide that good result for himself here tonight in the Williams. And he's there down in 20th position, not the sort of start of the night he wants. And certainly one man in particular further down the field that I'm absolutely shocked by, Louis Valentin, is 17th. A 2-time F1 Esports Challengers driver is 17th in this grid. He is very good on this game. Bit of a shocker, I think, in terms of his first lap, though. Louis Valentin has got to really, really think about getting a second lap in. The Sam Gamer and your own are now the second out on track for the second run.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. And I have to say, Louis performed really well in the team event that we held last week when he did the Monza race. I think he was finishing on the podium as well and performed absolutely brilliantly. So, yeah, I'm very shocked to see Louis down there. But he can hold his own. He loves street circuits, so maybe the street circuits will be a little bit more of this thing. And he's very happy to be able to compete at this level again in PS. We were asking the drivers what their favourite circuits were and their least favourite circuits. And not surprisingly, most of them are street circuits that he's looking forward to. So Las Vegas, Singapore, and also Monza and Bahrain. Not surprised about Monza. Bahrain, he could perform well on this day as well. And tracks he's least looking forward to. Well, I'm not surprised, really, that he's down in 17th. Japan is his least favourite track, so he's got something to live up to there, and as well as Austria and Britain. All the 2 tracks that we very like. And he's aiming to drive for consistency in each race, so that is what he's aimed for around this season. We'll go through the others as we go throughout the evening. Sam Gamer going to be the first driver to go on their outlap then as well. But yeah, Max on top. Last season he didn't get on very well. He was a PSF1 champion the season before, season 33. Let's see if we can find him on the circuit. There we go. And he just didn't find his footing last season, really, which was a bit shocking. But maybe this could be the season where he got used to the game a bit more, and it looks like we'll be getting a lobby restart after this. But yeah, hopefully he will have a better season, because now he's had the experience of racing against most of this grid, and maybe he's got a better grip of the handling, or maybe he just likes Mexico in general. We'll see what Max can do in TF10, because that's his new esports team now.
It is indeed, formerly of F7R and PSR back in the day as well. But Max really trying to deliver a good performance. He's out on top right now, but Sam Gamer's just about to start up on his lap once again. In for the Canadian, 11th position, 26.251 is his current lap time. Just behind Tom Roberts, just ahead of Rotterdam as well. But Sam Gamer now through the first two corners once again. Very tight to the apex there, coming out of turn number 2. Then in toward the left-hander of turn number 3, right to the curb nicely, through the right-hander of 4, through the left-hander of turn number 5. Yellow flags, by the way, ignore them. Drivers are going to be picking up more illegal blocking penalties by the looks of it, as Sam Gamer now comes through Dunlop curve, and now in towards the first and second Degners and the end of the first sector. Sam Gamer, 30.8 in the first sector, quickest out of everyone so far. 800s up in terms of the lap time, looking good so far for the Canadians, and now embarks on the hairpin.
Yes, as Sam Gamer is looking like that he's going to be one of the favourites going into this. When I was looking at my notes and looking at all the drivers in this tier, I had my eye on him because he has improved so much. Formerly of Parnell Racing, Sam Gamer, of course, so he has pretty much evolved as well. Used to be in other leagues as well, and to be honest, when he came out of the gate on his first PSGL F1 race last season, I was very, very impressed. And there's some races where he needs to improve on his driving standards, but he is a good qualifier as well. So he's going to go through 130R, as he almost got blocked by the Ferrari, but luckily he did not, as he has past Casio Triangle in towards the final corner, the only DRS zone up to the line, and it is pole position by 1,000th of a second to Max James. Wow.
Yeah, but Max is answering back through the first sector, 30.7 in the first sector, a 10th up already on what Sam Gamer said in that first sector split. Cameron Dowd as well is just coming through that first sector split. Mubarak's just starting, Kazizel just starting. Markados is actually one of the furthest on a lap in the Aston Martin. He's there in 7th position right now. Might not be, because he's actually going quicker than Sam Gamer in the middle sector. 500s up, coming through the middle sector now, in towards 130R, in towards the Casio Triangle. The Aston Martin looking to try and provide a very good result. Of course, 2 points separating himself and the title victory last season in season 34. Is Markados going to go on top? Yes, he does, and he puts the first 25.9 on the board. Max, though, is going to set an even quicker lap to the line, and he goes with a 25.8, already matching F2 pole position. Fantastic lap for Max, and that is the real Max that we love to see here in PSF1.
Yes, last season he just wasn't himself, and now he's just showing, you haven't got rid of me just yet, and it's really great to see from the TFT man. And Aurelian as well, there was a lot of people on X or Twitter, well, we still like to call it Twitter because calling it X is absolutely awful, no offence, but Aurelian's looking like that he's been putting the practice in as well, so maybe we could get to see him up there near the greats as well, and that's more like it from our F2 champion, Erpek up to the line in P2, and we do remember Jay Van Bussel set a very high bar because he won the F1 champion a season after he was crowned the F2 champion. So Erpek has got a lot to live up to, but he's still getting used to racing against these guys. But absolutely remarkable job to be a 10th behind Max. Let's see if anyone else is on a run. Mubarak Lapago is going to go up to the line now. Nope, he's not. He's diving into the pit lane. I think most people are going to dive into the pit lane as well. And there's one other driver that we haven't mentioned as well, who also got moved up as well as Erpek, is Keke. Keke, of course, a Finnish driver, another F1 Esports Challenger driver from this year, and he was a PSF2 runner-up. He's in Never Last Racing Esports, so one common thing you'll notice in this tier that every single driver is in esports teams, even reserves. So there we go. So his career wins was 5 of them. There was season 31 PSF4, and he won in Imola Day. He won in Singapore in season 33 in F3, and season 34 he won in Austria and Belgium, and he's had 10 career podiums at PSGL as well. And he was so close to obviously winning the title, but he couldn't do it. But Connor and Louis liked him so much that he got promoted anyway. So I am keeping my eye on KK and see what he could do as well. It's going to be a good rivalry between himself and Erpek.
Yeah, setting the same lap time actually as Tom Roberts right now. Tom there in 16th. Same lap time. He actually set the lap time before Keke, so that's why Keke's there down in 17th position. Louis Valentin, by the way, I did ratify him in terms of his first lap. He's actually gone to 14th now, so that's a little bit more like it, but it is so close between 1st and 20th position. I think apart from Stefano, 1st and 19th is covered by 0.4 of a second, and we had drivers, I think, top 9 covered by, at one point, an F2. I think it was 700th of a second covering the top 9, which was absolutely great to watch. 3 minutes ago then, in the session, there's Max out on top, Erpek in second, Marcos in third. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Cindery from the Xbox side of Shazoo, he's saying Sam for the win. Interesting one, I think, from that perspective, going against the Shazoo mold, which I think is now going to see him sacked potentially out of the team. But Max there is out on top, Murpek in second, Marcos there in third. Tater there saying as well, let's go Keke, let's go Marlon, maybe a bit, let's go Erpek. At least he's showing the support. Of course, Erpek was formerly of NLR, and at least NLR, at least members out of the team still, are going to be showing them support. You've always got to remember where you started off from. As Cameron Dowd has left the session, hopefully he can get back in very shortly indeed. He's there in 6th position right now, but hopefully he can get back in very soon. But yeah, Erpek there, back to his roots, I think, in terms of F7R. He's now part of that team. But in NLR, good to see the support, and that is what we like to see. Love for the former drivers that ran in the team. You might love them, you might hate them, but at least you get the reference that everyone starts out of a place and you just further your career, and that's exactly what Erpek's done. And congratulations on him moving to F7R, doing a fantastic job. If he was part of NLR, I think he'll get the same support. As you're muted, I think.
Oh, thank you. But when you start off in an esports team and then we move up and up and up, of course, the teams that you're in before are still going to love and support you. Remember Lewis Hamilton, for example? He still had a soft spot for McLaren. I know he's not in McLaren now, but every time he sees McLaren do well, he absolutely loves them. So, you know, you could never forget where your first esports team was. And there was another legal blocking from Max, so there we go. Yeah, we're not going to have that, luckily. There's no PSGL stream without legal blocking. We had that in F2, we had that in F4 earlier, and I won't be surprised if we have that in the other streams as well. So with Sam Gamer as well. So anyway, we're about to get on the way for the final half of qualifying then, the calm before the storm, as I like to say, and all 20 drivers are out on circuit, apart from Cameron Dowd. I don't think he's going to make it out on track in time, but Zach Clark saying in the chat, Max winning, no cat. That is prediction, as Cameron Dowd has retired from the session, so he's going to be starting no higher than 6th spot. So, James, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Who's your pick for pole position? Oh,
Max has been disqualified from the session from illegal blocking. Now, that is going to throw everything in the realm. If nobody improves behind a 25.8, I believe Max will start on pole position, but he's been disqualified from the session. Does that actually now mean he starts right at the back of the field? Anyways, we'll get to that. I think in terms of potentially on pole position, watch out for Aurelian. He's been looking very, very good, very, very shrewd so far in the session. 26 flat. Max being disqualified. If that disqualification counts, it should be a restart. But if that counts, he's going to be there down in 20th position. Volakongan, by the way, is first up on lap. He's not improving. 9,000s down in that middle sector. The Shazoo now flying his way in towards the Casio section of the track, the Casio Triangle, through 16, through 17. Time is up, so nobody can get a lap time in. But Volakonga now on the run toward the line. Does he improve? Yes, finds a 10th actually in the final sector, so good lap time from him. Benza improving as well, big time in the first sector, and he's up again in the middle sector, 109.5 in that middle sector. Aurelian's down in the first sector, Marcos is down, Erpek looks like he's potentially down, Yaron is on the run to the line as well, he's down in 18th position right now, he's on the run to the line though, but he's actually backed off, he made a mistake through the Casio Triangle.
Yes, as Benza comes across the line into P1 on track, but I think it's still Max as it stands on pole. But of course, we had to double check that at the moment. Marcos heading towards 130R, but we got his teammate. I'm trying to think who his teammate is. There we go. Ryan goes up to the line. He unfortunately just not improving. Invalidate Sam Gamer, a 25.860. He goes out there on top. We got, I think, we know who is our one of our reserves, 125.850. 100th quicker than Sam Gamer. Markados, our runner-up from last season.
Oh.
He goes top. That is definitely pole position for Markados so far, unless anyone could beat it. Nope, Aurelian has binned it in 6th. We got Erpek up to the line. Can he get pole position on his PSF1 debut? No, he can't. I can't remember where he starts. 2nd. Oh, so close. But what was Max's time again?
Max's time, before he got disqualified, I'll come back to you in a second. Give me a second. I'm just going to have to rewind the stream back. Max's time was a 25.86. I'm trying to read this. Hang on. Yeah, 125.8.
So that would put him 5th.
It would.
So we'll obviously check with the tier coordinator to see if that's all right. But yes, Markados starting like his season was meant to go on in P1. Then we got Erpek in P2. Winner in 3rd. We got Sam Gamer in 4th. Bender, Aurelian, Cameron Dowes, Keke doing well in P8. Well, Black in 9th. Then we got Francesco in your top 10. Then we got Kazidal, Folakongan, Ryderdow, Marlon, Louis, Ryan, Stefano, Tom, Jeroen, and Max will get disqualified, but it looks like he'll be starting 5th. But again, we will check that in just a second. But before we head to the main event, let's have a quick word from our title sponsor, GT Omega. We'll see you in 30 seconds. We are back underway for PSF1 and we are going to head to a lobby restart very shortly, so please do bear with us. We've got a lot to talk about as well and hopefully we'll get the action underway. But let's talk about Markados. Narrowly missed out on the title last season, but obviously with some of the PS guys moving to PC, he's got a really good chance to really get his season off to a great start.
No, he has. He showed so much consistency last season, did Markados. The German only came within 2 points of winning the title, and it could have went anyone's way on that final race of the season. And it was unfortunate because he ended up on 66 points. Joe Van Bussel took the title on 68 points, and remember, Black Box took the win, and we thought he might have won the title, but it all got decided. Joe Van Bussel took the title. Markados only ended up 2 points behind Joe Van Bussel, though. So if anything, I think he's the full man coming into tonight, coming into this season as well. He's done a fantastic job so far in that Aston Martin. Of course, looking at his track record, actually, in terms of him, of course, and in outplayed racing, but his career points, 223 points he's picked up during his career in PSGL. That's from season 30 PSF3, where he debuted with me in Portugal, with Cameron Dowd taking the win and getting disqualified that day as well. So could come full circle potentially in terms of the race here. But he finished 15th in his first ever race in season 30, and he's had 3 wins, season 30 in Britain, season 33 in Mexico, and of course the last season in Bahrain as well. Career podiums 10. Big shoes to fill. Can Markados look for 4th win here tonight with him being on pole? Only time will tell.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Markados, we do remember my first ever encounter with Markados was my first ever season on PSF1, and there were some huge doubts going. We keep talking about it every season, but some people don't know who Markados is, but he was lower down in the championship. There were doubts on whether he deserves to be in PSF1, but towards the end of season 31, he was absolutely amazing, and he improved every season. And the last few seasons, he started to be title contenders, both season 33 and season 34, and most likely going to be season 35 as well, which is very great to see as well. And Erpek, I did say he needed to carry the shoes for Joey Van Bussel. He's definitely showing it, isn't he?
He is indeed, yeah. Of course, season 34 PSF2 champion, and he was F1 Esports Challenger in 2022 as well. So Erpek's actually got a big track record than what people might actually think. The Italian, of course, formerly of NLR, now part of F7i, second in qualifying here tonight. It is going to be very interesting to see, I think, how he gets on in his first race. But I believe, actually, he took pole position around 2 in PSF2, and that is really going back into my archives, I think, with that. But I'm pretty sure he set pole position around 2 as well. Of course, 3 wins for his name all came last season: Brazil, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia. Qatar, of course, being next week, so could be quite strong there as well. But he looked really, really good, I've got to say. That natural progression, we saw Joe Van Bussel last season, Jess, where he had that natural progression from F2, from dominating the title and having to work so hard for his second title in PSF1. He's on PCF2 this season. New drivers and potentially new names towards the top end of the order. We always like to see new drivers coming through, even if they are an F1 Esports challenger.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, I was a bit shocked when placements were out in Season 34 that we didn't see Erpek in PSF1. That was one of my biggest shocks. But now he's in PSF1. He's got a point to prove. He's pretty much got some of his major rivals now the picture and moved to the PC side. So maybe he could show us what he's made of. But another driver to talk about, Max, of course. He's very happy to be here once again. He likes Spain, that is his favourite track, but he doesn't like Miami, Vegas, Monza, Hungary and Qatar, so that is something to keep an eye on next weekend. Even though he may do well tonight, we may not do well in Qatar next week as well. Ryan's saying he wants to finish even higher in the standings last season. He was very happy with P6 last season. Got his first win last season as well, which was very well deserved. I can't remember where it was. Let me check my notes. Did you write anything about Ryan? I can't remember if you did.
Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, Imola. There we go. He won in Imola, season 34. That was his first win, and he's hoping to finish in the points in every round. And his pace is shocking apparently around Japan, so he's just gonna hope for the best and hoping to survive. So there we go. That's to pick a few drivers on the line as well. And of course we've got Francesco, who we felt very nervous going into qualifying, but he's qualified himself in the top 10. I think that's his major goal, I think, going into this, because he's been in decent points in the last few races. Some of them lucky, I've got to admit, but maybe it's another chance for him to score points in every single race. But it's going to be hard considering he's brand new to PSF1 middle of last season.
Yeah, definitely so. But again, he's got experience from last season as well. And I think you just flip that negative potentially and turn it into a positive. He's got that experience last season. He knows how these guys race week in, week out. So I don't think it's going to be really new to him. I think he's going to really pick this up quickly. I think the F7R team are going to give him the full backing, as they are, of course, with all of their drivers, as well as every single team who are going to back their drivers in PSF1 this season. But yeah, Francesco's starting 11th. He's going to be an interesting one, I think, here tonight. Of course, reserve last season. He's going to be very, very much potentially on the field. He's had no wins, no podiums in PSGL, so he's a complete and utter newbie, you could almost say. But he finished 10th in Belgium, picked up his points there as well. And with Lars being alongside him in the Alpine, I believe Lars not actually here tonight.
No.
Cameron Dowd's, of course, filling in for him. Lars going to be an interesting one. F7R going to have their full knockings, as it looks like, Jess, we are going to get going. And I saw a bit of an argument in the chat a little bit early on, saying, is there going to be rain, is there not? Judging by the weather, it's not.
Good, because usually rain in Suzuka doesn't go down well for any of the drivers. And I don't think we had rain in the 7 p.m. tiers, the F2 and F4, luckily. So luckily we are having the same trend as most of these guys as well. But we're about to get underway. Let us know your predictions on who you think is going to win. And I do believe, if I'm not too mistaken, if you're looking at the Discord chat, James, is Max starting P5, yes or no?
Max is starting P5, yeah.
Perfect.
I believe he is going to start P5, which is good for him, because I think it takes away some of that robbery potentially from being disqualified in the session. Wasn't his fault that he got 3 illegal blocking penalties. It's just how the guys are condensed up in front of him and behind, and that's what happened with that. And drivers, I'm sure, will be told next week not to illegal block. It is possible around this track not to illegal block. The drivers just have to find a way and a means of how to. Yeah, find space. Simple. It's hard with 20 drivers, but find space. It's pretty easy from us saying in the commentary box, find space. But put it this way, Max is going to be up for it. He's going to turn that disqualification and that P5 start into potentially P1 at the end of this race.
Yes, definitely. I'm very glad, to be honest, that this restart has happened, because that disqualification was unfair. He had cars in front of him. There's no way he could have moved out of the way. So, yeah, let's see what he can do from there. But before we head to the action, final cheeky plug from our sponsor. We are sitting in these lovely chairs, which does help. GT Omega, 5% off all GT Omega products by using the code PSGL at checkout. Click the link in the description or use the command !GT Omega in chat. You'll get a cheeky little prompt when we're about to go racing in just a minute, so make sure you check them out as well. Lots of other products that GT Omega are providing as well, especially some lovely Halloween chairs that they've got on sale at the moment. So if you want to check those out, GT Omega's the place to be. It does look very nice. I can't afford a Halloween chair at the moment, but yeah, if you want a gift for Halloween, now's your time to get it.
Yeah, now is your time to get it indeed. We are getting going though. 5 relays about to go out here in Japan. Round 1 of the championship of season 35. And it's lights out and away we go. Markenos gets a very good start. Urpek off the line as well. Is going to try and run on from in towards turn number 1. Are we going to get shades of Frost and Senna? No, we're not. Markenos leads through turn number 1. Urpek there in second. Wiener trying to hang on to third. Some game up the inside line. I think everyone is clean through in the background. But this is the first real pinch point of the circuit. Everyone falling through in single file. There's a hash round though in the background. Volakongan and Stefano, I think that might have been in the background. Volakongan certainly caught up on that. But everyone going clean through the Dunlop curve safely. Mubarak and Cameron Dowds. Cameron Dowds has dropped a few positions off this race start. Cameron there, though, trying to hang on to the inside line. Mubarak's trying to back off now to the outside of Degner 1. Doesn't get the job done and holds on to 10th. But Markenos has flown out and from 5 tenths away. Urpek in second, Sam Gamer in third. And here comes Max on the outside into the hairpin, trying to get the job done. Can't. He's run out one. He's going to be running under pressure from Aurelian all the way down towards Spoon Curve.
Yes, and I have to say there's about 5 drivers in this grid that are running on the softs compounded tyres, and you probably think, there's no way the softs can last this long around this track. Well, if you watched F2 and F4 earlier, there's proof that you can do it, and they can last quite a bit of time actually around this track, about 9-10 laps. So they can go on to a set of memes if they want to as well, maybe even a set of hards. So a lot of the soft runners are trying to make their way early doors, as we got Cameron Downs having a fight with Keke and in towards the Casio triangle, Holster's line. We got Aurelian and Wiener going side by side as well. A bit of a squiggly heading towards the start finish straight there. Aurelian to the right, Wiener to the left of the start finish straight. Please don't make it 3 wide, guys. It's not going to work. We also got Sam Gamer on the set of the medium compound tyres, trying to get past the F2 champion of Urpek around the outside. Lovely move from Sam Gamer, and he's up into second place. The only driver, by the way, to go on a completely different tyres to everybody else on the mediums. And if I was racing with this group, that's the tyre I would have gone for.
Yeah, definitely so. It's going to put him vulnerable, though, because he's going to have to try and split the strategy. I think it might be medium softs, which is what he's going to go for, and then take it to a lap 16 and then go for set of soft compound tyres. That is definitely possible. Max, by the way, speaking of the set of softs, is right on the back of Urpek, in toward the hairpin, using a bit of overtake mode now, with 85% disposal to the inside line. This should be easy for Max. To the inside line. He's now in the position that he finished in last season. He's into third. Urpek there in fourth. Aurelian there in fifth, trying to hunt down Rodadell and Thomas side by side. Further down the field, Sam Gamer again looking on the back of Markenos, looping out of the slipstream just to try and cool down the tyres, cool down what we saw, of course, in Mexico in real life. Sam Gamer trying to cool down those tyres, cool down his strategy as well, but Max is right on the back of him towards 130R, and if he's got the speed, he's going to carry it in towards the Casio triangle. He might look towards the inside line. If he's not careful, he might get blocked in here, because Markenos is going so slow in front. Sam Gamer now has to loop to the outside line into the Casio triangle. Doesn't get the job done, but Max is going to have a phenomenal run on both of them. Coming out of the Casio triangle, switches to the inside line. This is absolute world-class driving if you can get the job done. Bit of lag involved as well. Sam Gamer now side by side with Markenos. Markenos nearly forcing him toward the pit lane, as now looks the inside line in towards turn number 1. Canadian tries to get the job done on the back of the German. He's up the inside line. Surely this is the move for the lead. It is. Sam Gamer through and he's into the lead. That is how you race in Japan. Take note.
Sam Gamer making 2 moves on the exit of the S section in 2 laps. Incredible stuff from Sam Gamer, but he's going to be very vulnerable towards the end. So he's going to be fast now. All he's got to concentrate now is increasing that gap. So when he's on the hards later on, or maybe going on to the softs, then that could be very good indeed. Evan Dalton in the chat, PSF2 commentator, says meme to softs is doable, but the fresh memes at the end is a little bit OP apparently as well. So it'll be interesting to see how these drivers do as well. We've got some few notes on the potential strategies in Japan as well, of course, from some previous experience in PSGL, PSF1 last season and in other leagues as well. We're not naming names, of course, but there are plenty of leagues that have raced around Suzuka in the past as well. DRS is enabled, and we are going to start to see the slipstream effect heading towards 130R as Max, he's really got to make the move done soon. And in other tracks, the softs would die about now, but they will last a bit longer around here due to the less tyre degradation around here. It's actually pretty decent, the tyre wear as well. Just about avoids the bollard as well. There's quite a few close battles coming up as well. Max could try and get past Markados as well. The tyre delta is huge between the softs and the hards, so he's got to make the move jump ASAP. But look at this, Markados to the inside, so does Max. Max follows Sam Gamer through. Sam Gamer has been left from on board as well as he goes side by side in towards the start of the S's section, and he gets back P2 from Max. So Max almost got it, but he didn't make it stick, unfortunately. So brilliant from Sam, but unfortunately he lost P1 because of that. And it was a brilliant tactics from Max following Markados through. Believe it or not, Markados used to be in TF10, so there we go.
Yeah, no love lost, it seems, between the former TF10 teammates. Max there on the back of Sam Gamer. He's looking really, really rampant now on the back of the McLaren. Running up the hill in towards the hairpin. Will look to the outside line. He might try and get the switchback on the exit. Cameron Dowd's running the background there on the back of Wiener as well. But Markados leading the way. I was going to mention, actually, just coming out of Spoon Curve last time around, Max was slower than Markados visibly in a straight line. That means Max is carrying more downforce in terms of his setup. More downforce basically meaning he gets the car hooked through the corners rather than taking the straight line speed. With his overtake mode, though, he still looks as quick as the guys ahead of him. So it is going to be an interesting one. See how Max is going to progress. You can see him in the slipstream now. On the back of Sam Gamer, he's closing up, but he's not closing up as quick as what Sam Gamer is to the back of Markados. So he is running less wings, I think, compared to Sam Gamer and Markados. That is going to suit him well in the race, especially if he goes on a set of mediums a little bit later on as well. But I think we're going to get another potential change for the lead. He's looking to the right-hand side, which is the IOLD Esports saying, yeah, I'm not going to go for the move in towards turn 1. I knew that coming out of turn out of turn 18, but Markados lead, Sam Gamer second, but now puts him vulnerable once again to Max, so it is going to put him completely under pressure through this first sector.
We have seen moves go through the hairpin from some of these drivers, and I wonder if Max is going to potentially do the same thing, of course. And who remembers, obviously, Kian, I believe he was in the McLaren last season when he was racing for Japan. McLaren have worked wonders in Japan before, and I wonder if Sam is trying to have tradition about McLaren's really great form around here in a PSGL, PSF1, of course. Markados, of course, was in the Mercedes last season. He's moved to Aston Martin, looking to do better in real life, of course. Erpet trying to go for a move on Aurelian past 200R, and Aurelian covers Erpet off. Aurelian is up into 4th place as well. I have to say, Erpet doing a pretty nice job in P5. He's on the hard tyres, but expect him to be really fast towards the end of the race on new mediums, or maybe he could try and go for softs at the end. We'll have to wait and see, but we are starting to see the ones on the hard tyres really start to close in onto the soft runners right now, in particular the likes of Cameron Dow's, Wiener, but Benton, Erpet on the back of the ring as well. KK as well is looking to try and go for a move on his teammate Louis, of course, into Casio Triangle, and we do know after 6 or 7 laps the softs start to deteriorate, so you've got to get the moves done ASAP. And we got a battle for the lead once again from Sam Gamer. No, he's not going to go for it, but I think we have one of the Williams trying to go for it. That is, I think, Louis lost a few places, so KK and Mulbarak. That was the same type of move what we saw with Max, but this time it's going to be replica. What a move from Mulbarak! That was fantastic. That was well. So I was on the exit of the S's section, and it's on a pad. And I have to say, driving on a pad around Suzuka is difficult from experience, even though it's easier on the F123 game. Well, Borak's just made it look easy.
He's the man coming into form in league racing right now as Mubarak. He's there in 10th position, did a fantastic job in the PSGL WOR event, of course, last week. And Mubarak has been showing very good form elsewhere as well. And I'm not surprised that he's beginning to pull off these moves. Keke and Louis Valentin, like taking candy from 2 Alfa Romeo babies, that was, from Mubarak. Fantastic stuff from the Ferrari. He's now on the back of Marlon. Marlon's tyres are going to be ebbing away slightly. Mubarak's tyres are going to be ebbing away as well, of course. But Markados leading the way. 0.3 of a second. It looks comfortable, I've got to say, for Markados so far. He's leading this big DRS train all the way down to where Tom is, down in 18th position. So 18 cars basically fighting out for the race lead. But once the split begins to happen, which I think is going to come potentially around Marlon, Mubarak, Keki, that sort of area, if that split happens, we are going to see 2 races for the price of 1, and we could even see contact. The Sam Gamer now looking on the back of Markedos. Max not going to get involved with this, but Sam Gamer is to the inside line in towards turn 1 again, like taking candy from a baby. Sam Gamer through and he's into the lead of the race. Markedos in second, and Marlon and Mubarak are side by side coming through turn 1. Mubarak cannot find a way through as Cameron Dowds is looking eyeing up the back of Wiener there, coming through the first sector, now through 3, 4, 5, and then into the right-hander at turn number 6. Cameron Dowds just sitting very, very happy right now. He is going to be taking his experience from PCF1 very seriously as he looks to try and find a way past Wiener to P7.
Yeah, exactly. This is the top tier, by the way, on PlayStation, and this experience is going to help him a little bit because he's used to racing F1 esports drives, of course, but he just wants to have a little bit of fun in PSF1 as there's contact from some drivers as well in the background. But I think we got a lot of moves maybe potentially going through Spoon Curve very soon as well. They're all really bunched together through there. So I wonder if I think most people are a lot better in the corners than they are in the straights. We will find out very soon. But this is where we start to see the hard runners really coming to full force here. I'm a bit shocked why Urbeck has not caught up to the back of Aurelian yet, but Benza's looking good in P6. Don't forget Benza joined F1 pretty late last season as well as reserve, and he's doing a great job in P6 in that AlphaTauri. I was not expecting him to be up there fighting for these guys as well, but he's definitely shown that he deserves to be a full-time driver, of course. Another one that got moved up from reserve to full-time. There's not much stats on him, unfortunately. We've got to change for the lead once again as Markedos to the inside, past Sam Gamer, and he's up into the net race lead. And this is going to keep going on and on. It's like a ping-pong battle between the top 2 right now as Max, by the way, he's doing very decent on those set of soft tires. We thought those softs were going to die now. He's the one out of all the soft runners who's making that soft strategy work.
Yeah, Matthew Hall has experience of a strategy like this around here in Japan. He's saying that the softs are dying. I don't. I think Max and Aurelian's tyres, I think, are dying. But Max is looking comfortable. You can't really see any blistering going through the front tyres. It's the fronts that take the hit around here in Japan. And there's not really any blistering going on. So Max has got that well within tyre range. I'd probably say that's around about 30-35% as Mubarak and Marlon are side by side coming out of the hairpin. That was a risky move from the man in the Ferrari, but Marlon's now trying to get the job back done on him, down in towards Spoon Curve. He'll hold the position, but Mubarak is like chomping at the bit for this move on the back of the Williams. I am eyeing this up myself in terms of a move. If I was in Mubarak's shoes right now, I'd go in toward 130 and try and pull a cheeky one on him, but he's going to wait him behind because his ERS is running low. He's going to have to stay within that slipstream, stay within the toe of Marlon, hope that he can carry him in, but he's not going to carry him anywhere because Mubarak's going to look to the outside line, maybe forces Marlon into a mistake, but he doesn't. Markedos their leads coming through the Casio Triangle once again. Sam Gamer is so quick on the power. Coming out of the final corner, pulls to the right-hand side. Again, instant note, not going to be overtaken. Someone that is, though, I think, is Keki on the back of Mubarak, who made a mistake coming out the Casio Triangle. Now under pressure from Keki, and Keki now takes it up into P10, and it's an NLR 9th and 10th right now.
Yes, and it's a fight for the points. And for those of you that aren't aware of the PSGL points system, points are awarded down to 10th place, but it's not the FIA points. First place gets 16 points to their name as well, and it just promotes closer racing and closer standings because we all want closer standings at the end of the day as well, and it just shows how good this league is as well. But if you are liking this video or stream, if you're watching it live, make sure you give us a like, hit subscribe and turn notifications on if you are new. We stream every Monday on the PlayStation side at 7 PM for F2, F4 and F6, and at 8 PM for F1, F3 and F5. And of course we've got the PC tiers on Thursdays with the likes of Dan and Richie taking you through the F2 action, and Richie will be joining you again with Joshua Birch on Wednesdays for the first round of the E-Series, which is in Bahrain as well. Looking forward to watching that at 7 o'clock UK time for qualifying, so they're really going guns a-blazing as well. A lovely prize pool too, so make sure you check that out as well. Some esports teams racing in there as well, some up-and-coming esports teams too. It'll be great to see how well they do in the E-Series. is. We got our first pitter, James, and that is Louis Valentine coming in from a set of the softs, and I thought he was going to stay in a bit longer and go on a 7 mediums, but I think he's going to go and opt differently unless... Nope, he's going on a 7 mediums, my bad. A bit questionable on whether he could get to the end, but there have been tears tonight that proved that it has been possible.
Yeah, he's a man that's been watching PSGL F2, I think, a little bit earlier on. Louis Valentine for a set of mediums. Undercut around here, potentially, if drivers go a little bit further into the race, say they go to lap 12 or 13, the undercut I'm talking about is more like 4 or 5 seconds on the rest of the field. So Louis Valentine is going to be right there or thereabouts towards the front end of the field once these pit stops are made. You should see the soft runners begin to come in very soon indeed. Bit of a Constantine rub in toward the hairpin. Cameron Dowds there trying to find a move on the back of Wiener. Mubarak as well sliding his way in the background on the back of Keki. But everyone just very happy to run in the DRS train right now. Marquinhos got 68% of ERS out in front. Sam Gamer 95. That is why he's not going for the moves. He's got 30% more almost than Marquinhos through this first and middle sectors. So Sam Gamer looking good at this race. But Matthew Hall questioning the strategy call for Louis Valentine. Believe in him. Believe in him. Like you did with Black Box last season. Believe in Louis Valentine there down at 19. It doesn't have the same ring to it as Believe in Black Box, trust me. But Sam Gamer on the back of Marquinhos is going to try and get the job done on the back. But he's really, really shocking actually coming out the Casio Triangle. Not going to run at him. Max running at the slipstream as well. Everyone just going to run on a big old boring DOS train in towards turn number 1. No moves happening here on lap 11 and 27.
And I know what they're doing at the moment. It's not that long before most of these guys come in into the pit lane to serve their stops, and they're just saving a bit so they have enough to use towards the end of this race. There's no point going and gaining ERS if you're not going for moves. You're going to be burning ERS anyway later on. So you just, the best thing to do is save, and then when you're going to be eyeing up for a move, that's when you go for the overtake, because otherwise you will lose so much time as well. And we will keep an eye on that. As soon as the red light flashes, that is when we know that they're running out of ERS, or maybe they got full ERS and not using that much at all, but we'll see what they can do as well. Only one that is struggling out there as well is your own. He got caught up in an incident earlier on. He's down in last place, unfortunately. He's having a day to forget for him as his first race as a full-time driver, but you never know, he can prove us wrong going into the rest of the race. Maybe a late safety car can bring him back up into this one, of course, because that would bring him really, really good as well. And Sam Gamer, I have to say, looking to replicate McLaren's successful constructor rate at this track, who's won 7 times. Aston Martin looking to have their first win, because they haven't won in real life, of course. Neither is Racing Point in Suzuka, at least. They won in Sakia, as we got 2 of the soft runners, all the soft runners coming in. That is more like it. I think I was expecting him to come around about now. So it's Max Marlon and Aurelian coming into the box. I expect all of them will be going to a set of the medium tyres to the end to undercut Louis Valentine. So, oh no, Max is going hard. So we know hards could get to the end quite comfortably. So he thinks that the mediums can't. That's going to be interesting as well. So let's guide on board with Louis Valentine. That's going to be quite a big undercut, and we'll see the gap come through as he exits the S's section. That's not too bad. If Max waited a few more laps, I think Louis would have been way ahead, but it's only a 1 second undercut between Louis and Max right now.
Yeah, it's a 1 second gain for Louis on the back of Max, but in real terms, with where he was down in the field and coming into the pit lane early, he's actually undercut the whole field by about 5 seconds right there. So Louis Valentine pretty much on par with, I think, what Nuth did, if I'm not mistaken. There was somebody in F2, I think it might have been Nuth, who did that undercut, that power... Oh, no, actually, it was Fede, I think it was, in F2, who did that big, powerful undercut and went for basically an undercut. Everyone came in 2 laps later. That's exactly what we've seen, as Marquinhos has made a mistake, I think, coming in toward 130 yard, and that is Sam Gamer now through into the race lead. Marquinhos, though, was fighting back at him in towards the Casio Triangle. Not going to get the job done then. I think Marquinhos just happy to let Sam Gamer go through, and Sam Gamer, he knew what was going on there. Marquinhos has absolutely tricked him into the box. Sam Gamer's in. Marquinhos is staying out. Urpek is staying out along with Benza. Cameron Dowd and Mubarak are in from further down the field. They're going to a set of mediums. They will definitely make it to the end of the race. Of course, it is a dry race here in Japan, so definitely going to make it toward the end of the race. And Matthew Hall is saying that Louis is going to be in the lead. He is indeed. Honestly, I'm not surprised that he's going to be in the lead either, because there's some gamer on the exit of the pit lane. There's Louis Valentin, there's Max, there's Aurelian. Undercut so powerful around the circuit, as just proven that.
And I have to say, Louis was predicting that he wasn't going to do well around this track. Well, Louis, you better start believing in yourself, mate, because you're leading a race around Japan. So it just shows the undercut is powerful as it seems as well. But if there's a safety car, that could ruin him. But at the moment, he's definitely in a good position as well. By the way, every time I keep muting my mic is because otherwise you'll hear a lot of background noise with my fan on my PC. And you don't really want to do that at the moment. And just speaking way too soon, says Matthew Hall. I'm known to commentators' curses quite a lot, Matthew. So
Benza? No way.
Benza's going to try and get the move on Urpek. It looks like in towards 130R.
Never going to work. That was never going to work. That might work for Wiener though, to the inside line. That's late on the brakes from the Ferrari. The AlphaTauri, though, gets the job done. Benza back through into P3, and they're both in the pit lane as Urpek's going to look at the race lead on the back of Mark. He's actually going to sit him behind. Benza picks up a 5-second penalty. I did that in my league race as well around here, so at least he's joined the James Head club in that one. Marknell's leading the way. Urpek second, Francesco in third. Volakongan continuing on. But look at Louis Valentin again. He's out of the Casio triangle. This is going to be a little bit closer between Benza and him, but I think it's still going to be a big advantage for him. Actually, as Louis Valentin's getting overtaken by everyone down in towards turn one. That's Aurelian now through into race lead. You know what on earth happened there? 3 wide and towards turn number 1, and Aurelian is through and into the race lead. Max is through into second. Louis Valentin's now in a net P3, and Louis Valentin's just been absolutely swarmed by as almost as if he had about 1,000 mosquitoes on him there.
Well, that was an example of a commentator's curse from Jess. So, Louis, if you lose a race win, that's my fault. but I'm not going to say too much about that. But Aurelian's looking quite quick at the moment. But we know how Matt's could do on those hard tyres towards the end. And Matthew Hall called it. Yeah, I should have believed in you, Matthew Hall, there. So we head towards the latter half of this race. Still the top 6 yet to stop. Maybe they go for the softs at the end, or maybe they want a fresh out of memes, or maybe they're praying for a safety car. That's what we saw with a few drivers towards the end of last season, of course, with the championship decider, of course. A few of them that caused that incident have been banned from the league, of course, which was great to see. But Marcos and Urpek going into the pit lane, and they're going to go on to say memes, or probably memes right now at the moment. Have we got a battle between Tom and Francesco for the lead on track? Tom to the inside, DRS overtake, and he's your race leader on track. Not a net race leader though, and we'll see as Aurelian heads towards the start finish straight. Look at that DRS trail from Aurelian all the way down to, I think, Urpek as well, as they all make their way towards turn number 1. They're not going for it, and you can see how powerful it is. Look at where Marcos is, James. P14. He's dropping like flies. He's getting past KK, having a nice battle between the pair of them. It's going to be very tight, heading towards the S's section. I try going side by side down. I lose a bit of understeer there, and that's why I usually let that go on that one. And KK stays ahead into P13. So, the one, by the way, that's benefited out of all this is Sam Gamer. He was the one who pitted quite early on compared to Marcos, and he's within this DRS train. But Marcos, a bit of a loss there, but he's going to be on some fresh memes at the end, so don't count out Marcos just yet.
Yeah, definitely not. It's so hard around this track as well, because the one stop is absolutely guaranteed, and the strategy call, if you get it wrong, you will know about it a little bit later on in the race. That's what we've seen with Louis Valentin. He's still in a net P3, but his mediums are going to be shot towards the end. Compare that to Sam Gamer in behind, who's on a set of hards. He's possibly on the wrong strategy as well, because he's going to be under pressure from Cameron Dowd, Spencer and the likes throughout the field. So it's going to be fascinating as the two Ferraris are side by side and towards 130. Oh, that's Wiener up the inside on him, back. Easy move that was from Wiener, the man in the OP team, getting the job done. His fellow countryman is now Benza, looks towards the outside line, and Cameron Dow's just in the background. A shot, this is the McLaren as well. Sam Gamer looking on the back of Louis Valentin. But Volakongan continues on. He's going set of softs. I'm absolutely guaranteed of that. Benza is running side by side though with Cameron Dowd in towards turn 1. There's 2x2 like Noah's Ark as they filter through in the foreground. A shot as well. That's Aurelian and Sam Gamer side by side. Cameron Dowd and Benza still side by side through 2, through 3. Cameron Dowd doesn't want to give in. Benza doesn't want to give in. And that is marvellous from Benza. Cameron Dowd has gone back to school with that one. Benza through and he's into P7. Brilliant racing between the both of them.
that is just general racing overall from all drivers so far. We did say last week that the driving standards need to improve, and it's definitely showing up at the moment, but we're not going to speak too soon, James, are we? Because you never know, bad things could happen towards the end where people start to fight for the race. But oh, we got two of the Ferraris fighting in the background. We got Marlon and Benza as well up the inside of Hamidar. There's so much action, it's really hard to look and decide which ones to look for. This is really great stuff. This is why these guys have been placed in PSGL, PSF1, because look at this DRS train. They're all so close, and it's going to come down to setup. It's going to come down to strategy on who we think is going to win this race as well. And it's going to come down to the ERS deployment as well. If you use too much on these stages, and not even towards the end, they're going to be in so much trouble. As always, a bit of a squeezing going on between Louis Valentin and Marlon as well. And we've got the AlbertAria Benza trying to go up for the move once again as well. And I'm looking at Aurelian, who's trying to do all he can to try and get past Max. Max is still your net race leader at the moment. And it's a one attempt gap, and Aurelian almost got past, and he didn't. But meanwhile, let's watch Cameron Dow's with Benza side by side. How on earth do they not get off the road there? This is absolutely insane, but Benza still manages to keep ahead of Cameron Dow's there, but Benza getting that penalty, which is not going to help him towards the end of the race. If it was a 5 second, he would serve it, I believe, at the next pit stop, and even though it would put him near the back, at least he will get the penalties removed at least as well as they head towards Degner 2 for the 17th time of asking. For Lekongan, not coming to the pits yet, but to be honest, am we surprised? No.
Markedos up the inside line and Mubarak looking to try and get the job done. While I'm on board with this, looking to the inside, doesn't get the job done. Mubarak gets the up and under around the outside, gets the job done. He's through and he's into 10th position. And now look at Urpek on the back of Keki. Two NLR drivers, or one former NLR driver fighting side by side with the other, and that is Urpek through. And he's taking Keki to school again with that. Brilliant stuff from Urpek. He's through and he's into 312. I don't know what it is with the school. I think it might be because they're on half term, but Volokongan leading the way. Max in second. Markedos is side by side with Mubarak. He's going to go side by side potentially with Wiener running down the straight. Cameron Dowd is running side by side into the Casio Triangle. Benton nearly forced into a mistake. One mistake, by the way. And this is going to cause utter chaos as Volokongan is into pit lane, realising that he was being caught. But Max's escape up the road, it's nearly a second actually the advantage between Max and Aurelian. He's got the advantage. He's got the race lead. Markedos is getting 8th position off the back of Wiener. Ran the outside through turn 1. Beautiful racing this is. Everyone that's calling for a safety car, by the way, we are not needing a safety car in this race. If they continue this level of standards, race the season easily, and put it this way, might be one of the best races I've ever commentated on PSF1.
Race of the season. This is round 1. We haven't even seen the rest of the races this season. It's too early to call yet on whether it's going to be the race of the season, but I do remember Japan last season, James. It was we had a late safety car at the end, but it was still really good racing. I think Japan and Qatar were both one of the races of the season, so I'm not really that surprised. As all, we got Rena that's almost hit the back there as well. He's got a good run on Markedos heading towards Hamidar as well. I didn't even know that was even a corner called that as well. At least I'll know that for future Japan commentaries as well. I'll make that a note down on that on future notes then as well. But we're on the final third of this race. Let us know who you think should win this one as well, but there's been some stellar performances from all drivers involved as well. We're watching Wiener. He's going to try and line up for a move towards 130R. He's got less downforce compared to Markedos, it looks like, as well. We could see Cameron Dow's on the back of Benza once again, or is it Benza or Marlon actually? No, it's Benza on the back of Marlon. He's looking to get rid of that 5 second deficit. Past the start finish straight, and he's going to use, I believe, his DRS. He hasn't got much ERS, so he's on 3%, so he's not going to use things too much here in towards turn number 1. And no, he's not going to go for it. But one person that has going for it is Cameron Dow's. Oh, a bit of a squiggle there. He just about saved it. Good car control there from Cameron Dow's. But Markedos regains that place back from Cameron Dow's as Markedos is up into 7th spot. And I have to say, if that was me who had a bit of a squiggle, I would have been, I think, in the gravel trap. So that just shows that they have better car control than I do there. So we got Ryan and Gazidle going for a move past into the past the first Degner anyway, and it's Dunlop. So Ryan up into 13th. At least they're still fighting, even though it's for 13th and 14th position. I'm a bit shocked though. No. Look, Gazidle's in 14th. Oh, there's something going on in the background. That's Urpek on the back of Wiener, but Wiener defending that very nicely and stayed in 9th.
The level of racing is incredible, and look at Keki on the back of Mubarak, just in the background of the shot as well. He's looking all the way to the inside line, in towards Spoon Curve. Not going to get that job done, my friend, as Keki there in 12th position is still pressurising the back of Mubarak. Markadors is on the back of Benza, running in towards 130R, and he's up the inside and towards 130R. This could end disastrous, but it ends brilliantly for Markadors. Gets the job done. He's through, he's into P6. Benza did back off that slightly, and there's Wiener going for a move on the back of Cameron Dowds as well. This could end in tears. I'm living this every step of the way as you are. Wiener and Cameron Dowds forcing each other room, and now Urpek's going to have a run at both of them. Down in towards turn one, and Urpek, it's like taking candy from two babies, and Urpek going to get the job done, surely in towards turn number one, and he does. And that is still Wiener up the inside line of Cameron Dowds. Cameron Dowds on the outside line. Brilliant, brilliant racing. Cameron Dowds now behind. That is incredible racing. It's world class. Urpek through, Wiener through. Cameron Dowds has been done like a spring chicken.
And let's just say, normally you don't go 3 wide into turn number 1 there, but that is how you do go 3 wide. Don't do it all the time, because otherwise it could be absolute chaos, by the way. But Urpek, he's just showing his class, and he's going to try and get past Benza just before the hairpin as well. We haven't seen much moves out there today, but Urpex is proving that you can go for a move there, and he's up into 7th place. Now he's going to chase down Markdorf. He's got fresh tyres as well, so he's a huge threat for a potential podium in this race on debut, which will be amazing. Don't forget, he did start 2nd, but he's dropped a few places. But it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. So Urpek trying to get on that comeback as well. And we also got Margados chasing down Marlon. So we got 2 Williams, well, Margados in a Williams sandwich, as it were. But Benza is definitely fighting back. There's just so much action. It's just amazing. By the way, Volakonga now's pitted onto a set of softs. And if there's a safety car, that could work wonders for the Shazoo man in the Mercedes, of course. But at the moment, he's down in 19th and not going to be scoring any points so far. Max still kind of leads the way, but already closes the gap to 0.3 of a second. And he's doing the Sam Gamer tactic. Thinks about going for the moon, but doesn't look like he's going to go for the moon. Meanwhile, Urpek and Benza going for the move there. As Benza nicely done into the start of turn 1, and he's up into P7.
Yeah, beautiful stuff by Benza. Benza, by the way, is the only one that's actually picked up a 5-second penalty, and that's for spin in the pit lane. Nobody has picked up a corner cutting penalty, which comes to show A, the level of racing, and B, the level of standards of driving that we're having out on track tonight. This is phenomenal. Japan, last season, I referenced it was one of the 3 races of the season, along with Qatar and one of the other races. And this is already living up to expectations. They now come into next week in Qatar. It's going to be brilliant to watch as Urpek looks the inside line. That was Wiener, though. Was that a bit of contact, actually, from the Ferrari on the back of the Williams? Looked like it on my end, as Urpek now fights the inside line, fights back with the overtake mode, and fights back into 8th position to Urpek. Not going down without a fight here. Wiener there in 9th. Cameron Dowds there in 10th on his return, of course, to PlayStation. He's doing a phenomenal job. He's just been caught a little bit flat-footed, though. A, with his strategy. B, with his pace as well. But he's now going to prove me wrong, because Wiener's just been absolutely done coming out of Spoon Curve. That is Cameron Dowds into 9th. And maybe I should shut up by right now.
Yeah, I think you should shut up with the penalties as well, because you said, yeah, there's no track limit penalties, and Ryder Dow just picked up 3 seconds. So, James, it's 1-0 to you in terms of track limit curses, and yeah, that's why I don't say too much about track limit violations, because otherwise I would get done as well. But we're seeing some more battles in the background as more Borat gets past Wiener into turn number 1. Cheeky DRS overtake there, and he's into the points. And don't forget, there's about 3 or 4 drivers fighting for the last point, and this is absolutely insane. Make sure you keep watching. Make sure you like and subscribe as well. Also, check out our sponsor, GT Omega. 5% off all GT Omega products by using the code PSGL at checkout, or you can use the command GT Omega as well. So we'll obviously have to enter in. Apologies, by the way, that there was an ad for non-YouTube premium people as well. I don't know what happened there. It's on YouTube's end, not mine, because I'm not even playing it, but apparently some of you had ads, so do apologise about that. But luckily not much has happened currently, so that's all good in that. And nice to see Courtney in the chat. He was meant to be racing tonight in replace of Lars, but unfortunately he has got a surgery tomorrow, and wish him best of luck for that. Hopefully, Courtney, we'll see you on the racetrack very, very soon in PSL1. Was in PCF3 last season, but decided that he liked PS so much, he's back on the PS scene. I can't wait to see him racing this season. Don't know when yet, but when it is, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. So I think Cornet actually had a surgery today, if I'm not mistaken. I saw a little bit of a message in the chat earlier saying that I think he was having a surgery today and he's had a surgery and recovering. So hopefully that recovery goes well. Hopefully we see him on track as well in the not too distant future. I wish he was racing here tonight because, put it this way, he'd be right up there with the pace. Keke and Wiener are side by side through turn number 1 as well. The Alfa Romeo on the Ferraris hit each other. Mubarak there completely and utterly taken off guard by Wiener. That was late on the brakes from Wiener. And again, with his driving, just a little bit aggressive from time to time from Wiener, making contact with your teammates. The first rule of racing, do not make contact with your teammate. That's what Wiener did. Luckily, they've escaped with that scot-free. Keke as well escaped out of that as well, down in 12th position. The cloud cover beginning to build over the circle. There was no rain, no forecast in this race, but Max there leading the way, Aurelian in second, Sam Gamer in third. If I was Sam Gamer right now, I'd be sitting absolutely pretty there in third position. Well, lap 23 out of 27. You're owned, by the way, into the pit letters. Tom and Kazizel are fighting side by side through the hairpin as well. But Sam Gamer is in the prime spot. He's there in third position right now. Aurelian in second has got 65% of ERS. Max on 95, Sam Gamer 87. Those hards are going to be better than Aurelian's mediums to the end of the race, and they're certainly going to be better than Max's hards towards the end of the race as well. So Sam Gamer definitely catching my eye right now. I think he could win this race.
Oh, very bold statement from Mr. James Head there. And to be honest, he's got the freshest tyres compared to Max. And if I was him, just stay patient. He's done some really great moves earlier on as well. So I wonder if he's going to do what Matthew Hall says and absolutely send it. And I think he's just going to wait. Oh, he's going to try and send it now, maybe into towards turn 1. No, he's not going to do it this early on. Surely not. No, he's not. Okay, so Sam Gamer in third. I think it was a lap too early he was going to do there as well. But Aurelian still looking great as well. But start to see the mediums. It's wearing off a little bit too much. The mediums are starting to die. You can see Aurelian really starting to pretty much go away from Max, unfortunately. Max pulling the gap, which is really great to see. So Max has got a buffer behind of Aurelian, but Sam Gamer would really need to get past Aurelian ASAP in order to make sure that he fights for the race victory as well. Louis Valentin as well doing well in the 4th spot, but we got Markados up the inside of Marlon, but Marlon is going to fend back on the right hand side as well towards 2.5. No, he doesn't, as Markados stays in 5th spot. Pole sitter, I believe, and it's dropped down to 5th. The one who started in 5th is leading, so Max and Markados, James, are technically swapped positions.
They have, and it's just remarkable. It goes full circle, this race here in Japan. It really does. Max there leading the way. The thing is, Jensen's saying that Max, he thinks he's got it. I don't think Max has got it because his straight line speed compared to Aurelian and Sam Gamer is less. His downforce is going to carry him in the corners as Markados and Marlon again are side by side into the Casio triangle, trying to get the job done, and Markados just barely hangs on. Oh, has a huge slide coming out. How on earth has he recovered that? Nearly in the wall, and Markados there recovers it. He's going to lose 2 positions for the price of 1, and now it's going to end up in all chaos. There's a bit of boxing going on in towards turn number 1. Markados around the outside of Benza. Not sure if Benza picked up damage in that. I think they got away with that scot-free. Goodness me, it's like Tyson Fury being knocked down by a UFC fighter this, but Markados on the back of Marlon, 5th and 6th position. How on earth Markados is in 6th position, and how on earth he did not spin that car into the wall, I do not know. Phenomenal car control, certainly better car control than me.
Yeah, better car control than me as well, so fair play to Markados there, and Jensen saying all going to happen in these next couple of laps. I agree, so make sure, don't tune out, make sure you watch these last couple of laps, because it's going to be PSGL Gold, I have to say. It's going to be incredible. It's been so great so far. But we got Keke, Wiener, Ryan and Tom all fighting for 11th, 12th position and 13th as well. Keke just got past Tom there, I believe, as well. But now heading towards Spoon Curve. You can see Wiener is running out of DRS as well. This is all for the final point. And they're all on this DRS train for the win at the top 14, 15. Who would have thought it? And if you thought there's a safety car, there wasn't. But look at this, KK trying to get the move before 130R, and he did that move perfectly there. Well done to that Alfa Romeo driver, and he's eyeing up for his first points in PSF1 on debut. Oh, there could be a bit of contact there for KK and Wiener, but how on earth do they keep it on the road? This is great stuff. Oh, a bit of a squiggle there again from KK, I think, as well. Here goes Tom. They're going to be free wide heading towards turn number 1 now. We also got Margaros and Marlon fighting, but This is the battle we got to watch out for here as well. 2 side by side once again from Tom and KK and Ryan. We don't know where to look. They're running out of battery as well. We will keep an eye on the lead battle towards the end. Do not worry. That's the one to watch out for the end. But wow, this is absolutely insane for the final point. We got battle for the podium, battle for the win, and battle for the final point.
And Francesco's trying to go around the outside of Dunlop curve and all of that as well for 17th position. Absolutely incredible racing throughout the field. If it all goes to pot on the final lap, at least we can say we've had 26 of the 27 laps completely clean. Phenomenal racing. Jeroen picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. He is done. Disappointing on his return, of course, to PSF1 this season. Disappointing for him. But all action to the front. Max leading the way has now dropped the ZRS. It's 57%. Aurelian's on 46. Sam Gamer again, 71%. Do not rule out that man in P3 right now. Aurelian's straight line speed is better than Max's as well. So I will not be surprised as long as Max doesn't make a mistake out of the Casio triangle. Aurelian's going to be on the back of him, potentially in towards turn 1. We will find out on this final lap of the race. Max leads the way, but for how long? Because Aurelian is chomping at the bit. The Red Bull and the AlphaTauri. Helmut Marko's got his head in his hands right now, but Aurelian is going to look for the move for the race lead on the back of Max. Down in towards turn 1, the Frenchman coming at the Austrian towards turn 1. Pulls to the outside line, in towards turn 1. But Max holds the lead, and Aurelian does not fight that. Max leads from Aurelian in second. Sam Gamer in third. There's nothing really happening towards the back end of the field, but Max there leading the way. Aurelian has got one more, potentially 2 more opportunities. One at 130R, one into the final corner at the Casio Triangle. I think, though, judging by how Max is pulling away, I think he might have this.
I think so too. The hards are definitely going up to temperature now, and the mediums are starting to degrade for Aurelian, and this is not helping Sam Gamer as he wants to get past. Oh, we got a spinner! We got a spinner for one of the McLarens. That is Cazidle, who's had a bit of an off. Hopefully there's no contact there, but yeah, I think there was a spin on his own. Only got a 3-second time penalty. That's a bit harsh there as well from the game, but yeah, he's dropped down. So is Volokongan, unfortunately. As Sam Gamer going to try and get past the Ranger spoon curve, and these two can't afford to squabble because that's allowing Max to pull away ever so slightly as well. But Sam Gamer is going to try and go for the movement towards 130 on. At least I'm not on mute this time, as last season when we were commentating on the last lap battle in Japan, I was on mute for a bit, which is very embarrassing. But Sam Gamer trying to go for the move. Then Margo's trying to get past Louis. Sam Gamer to the left-hand side in towards Casio. No contact, please, from the two of them. But Sam Gamer's up to second. But it is Max who is starting the season on a high. He had a bad season last season, but he's forgetting all that right now. He wins the opening round in Mexico. Sam Gamer in second, Aurelian in third, Marcados in fourth, Louis Valentin in fifth. Good job from Marlon Erpek in 6th and 7th. We unfortunately retired. I don't know what happened there. There must be a big pile up at the end that we didn't see.
Yeah, always retired just after the line. It might be that little glitch that we've seen. I will confirm.
We did see a gap between the end and the first bunch and the end bunch.
We did. Yeah, Wiener actually came across the line fine. So Wiener's absolutely fine. He's just retired after the line. But my God, what a race! What a race in PSF1. That is how you deliver a race of 27 laps in Japan. Every single driver, be happy. I think there was a little bit of contact with Kazizel. I didn't catch that, so I'm going to let it by. But every single driver delivered there. It is Max out on top. The Austrian takes victory. Sam Gamer, though, balls of steel in towards the Casio Triangle. He's got some cajones on him, so big ones of that as well. He's there in second position after a phenomenal move on the back of the Red Bull. Absolutely deserving of that podium finish. Aurelian will feel that downbeat with that third position. He just got outdone by a simply brilliant move around the outside into the Casio Triangle. But it's Max's day. Max out on top. Third here last season, Jess. He's now back on top, and he's taking the championship lead for the first time since season 33.
Yes, when we do remember what happened in season 33 when he took the championship lead in round number 1. He went on to win the title. Will he do the same this season? We'll have to wait and see. Max from Sam Gamer, for Aurelian, for Marcados, from Louis, Marlon, Erpek, Cameron Dowles, Tom and Mulbrat. Those are your point scorers. Then we got Keke, Ryan, Francesco, Benza, Stefano, Volokongan, Ryderdale, Cazidle, Rena and Jeroen are your top 20. I believe since he's 2 laps down, he'll be classified. So technically no retirements, even though Jeroen retired in at the pit lane. I really enjoyed that, and I hope you did too. No, I don't think we had any VSCs or safety cars.
Nope.
that is just the record in PSGL,
Oh, no, we did.
PSF1. Or did we have a VSC at the beginning?
That one.
That one.
That
Oh,
one,
yeah, there we go. But no safety cars, though. That was impressive, and almost everyone made it to the finish line. But no on-track retirements. And I think they must have learnt their lesson from last week in that team event.
Yeah, definitely so. Jensen, I've certainly learnt a lesson from him as well in terms of what he said a few laps ago. I will definitely take that on note for commentaries around here in Japan. But put it this way, what an absolute race it was. Max sadly won't be joining us. He's got to go, sadly, so that's unfortunate. But Max obviously deserving of that race win. Sam Gamer, though, played it absolutely on ear for that move on the back of Aurelian. Aurelian was so unfortunate. He ran out of ERS, running down in towards 130R. And was a sitting duck basically from the Exeter Spoon on the run down into the Casio Triangle. We ended up seeing Sam Gamer get in second position for a brilliant move around the outside. I had a perfect camera angle through it as well. Throughout the race, absolutely top-notch driving throughout the field. If we have standards like that every week, Jess, put it this way, PSF1, season 35 is going to be the best season, certainly, for a long, long time.
We do hope so. We do hope so. And I hope they keep it up. Next week we head to Qatar, which was even brilliant last season. So looking forward to that. But watch that crash and burn next week. But there was one person on Twitter earlier that predicted the Max victory. When I put a tweet out, well, it was under the reply to your tweet, actually. It was
Frankie.
Frankie, yeah, saying Max winning, and with a funny image of yeah, that looks quite funny actually. But yeah, so yeah, he's good at predicting. It looks like as well. Can he predict the lottery numbers? That would be amazing.
Oh, I wish he could. I wish he could. I think we'll be both millionaires right now if we can. Sam Gamer as well, with the time zones obviously changing over here. They've had to sit their clock back an hour, so it's a little bit strange in terms of the time zones. That's why he's not going to be joining us. But we are going to get a rally in. Hopefully he can join the waiting room very soon indeed. But yeah, Mubarak saying in the chat, cleanest race ever, thank you. Ryan saying that was pretty clean. One of the cleanest races I think I've seen in PSF1, and I've been doing this 2 seasons, and then I've been doing PSGL, 5 seasons now. Probably one of the cleanest races I think I've ever seen in PSGL. Absolutely brilliant, phenomenal racing. I really hope the standards do not drop next week in Qatar. We had a fantastic race there last season. Yeah. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
I have to say, speaking from some of the drivers in the YouTube chat, F2 also delivered some good racing as well. So the top 2 of PlayStation has delivered tonight, and it is really great to see. And let's just hope they can keep it up next week. So let us know, by the way, when Aurelian gets into the rating room, because I can't see the Discord server at the moment as well. But let us know who you think has done well in the chat. But I have to say, Sam Gamer was so close getting that victory. Already in my pick, 3rd place. He was this close, but I think it was down to his strategy. He was on old mediums, and if he pitted a few laps later, I think he would have challenged.
Yeah, definitely so. I think if the race was a few laps longer, I think everyone would want 100% race right now out on track, because they absolutely delivered out on track. Aurelian, by the way, is in the waiting room, so if you want to get your scene ready.
Done.
I will drag him in. We normally have a few issues with Aurelian, I think, joining us in the comms box. We'll join him in right about now. Right, first of all, we're going to test this. Aurelian, can you hear us?
He's on mute.
He's on mute. This is tense.
Drum roll, please.
Or is he just not there? He might not be there.
I'll just say that you're on mute. I don't think he can hear us.
Oh, there he is.
There we go. Can you hear us?
Do you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Oh, good.
Yeah. Hello? Yeah.
Woo! Take it away, James.
Oh, what a race that was, Aurelian. P3 out on track. I don't think you were deserving of that position. I think P2 you had written all over it. If it wasn't for that lack of ERS at the end, talk us through it, because as I've just said in commentary, that possibly one of the cleanest races I think we've ever had.
Yeah, honestly, it was crazy. To be honest, I'm on holiday, so I'm driving on a different setup. I started to train today.
Wow.
And I at the beginning, my few sessions, I was in 0.6, 0.5 at the beginning, and I was like, if I can finish the race and maybe if I can take 1 or 2 points, it can be crazy. And ending up with the P3 is pretty insane. Of course, I would have preferred to win. I think I had the pace to do it, but I'm still really happy with P3. That's really good points.
Yeah, really good points indeed. And it was phenomenal, I think, again, in terms of the driving. And you must have been thinking, final lap of the race, Sam Gamer thinking, oh God, here he comes. He's going to get the job done. I want to try and defend. What was it that case in terms of you being in the party with people? And was it the case with giving Sam Gamer as much room as possible just to try and complete that move?
I of course wanted to defend a bit, but I think he had maybe a little bit more ERS, and I didn't want it to destroy my race by causing a contact or something. So he was a bit in front uh, at the at the apex. So I said myself, okay, I'm just gonna end up with P3, and it's already good with my seat that was moving up and down and right and left the whole race. So I think it was pretty good.
He needs to get a stable seat for next week, put it that way. Definitely worthy of a stable seat,
Yeah,
certainly
I
for
will be
next week.
back next week.
You will be back next week, which is always good. That was your 8th podium as well in PSGL throughout your career, actually, in PSGL. Your first, I think, came in, I think, season 32 in PSF2, where I was covering there. And in terms
Yes.
of the racing out on track, we saw you absolutely deliver the goods. You were season 32 runner-up in PSF2 even. You were season 32 runner-up, I think, getting beat by Volakongan that day in America. Are you now potentially focusing on, even at this early stage, a championship or two?
Yeah. Honestly, that race in Austin in PSF2 was really heartbreaking. Losing by 1/10 the championship was really hard. But yeah, I want to fight for the championship this season. I think I can do it. I will try to be as consistent as possible, and I hope at the end I can take something really great.
Yeah, definitely so. Phenomenal job. P3 out on track. Congratulations on the podium. I'll hand you over to Jess for any follow-ups.
Yeah, certainly. Massive race for you today, Japan. I absolutely loved watching you race today. So we'll speak to you about next week as we head to Qatar. Another fantastic track for racing. Obviously, we were there last season as well. And talking from experience as well, is that experience going to help you next week, or is it a track that you don't like?
Qatar is a good track. I raced there in EML 2 weeks ago, I think.
Oh, yes.
And the pace was decent, so I believe I can fight for a good result again, and that's what I'm looking for.
Perfect. That's my question, James.
Yeah, that's all from me as well. Congratulations, Aurelian. Go enjoy your evening.
Thank you. Good evening to you too, James and Jessica.
Thank you.
You are very
Bye.
Yeah, you are very welcome indeed. That rounds us off for the only interview that we're getting tonight as well, Jess.
Yep, it is. And I have to say, I still can't believe we had a good driving standards today as well. It's been absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching as well. And just a quick rundown of the calendar once again. We've got Qatar next week, November 6th, and then we've got Hungary, which is the next round after that, and then we've got a break week. So 2 great tracks coming up as well. Let's hope it doesn't have a full wet race like we saw with James's league race as well, which I'm glad I wasn't racing in that one as well. But what we both race in Qatar and we both enjoy it. What are your thoughts for these drivers heading into next week?
Well, first of all, I hope it's not a fully wet race, and second of all, I hope I actually get a potential victory from that race because I got robbed of the victory in the end. But anyways, I think in terms of the drivers in F1, fantastic, I think, in terms of Qatar. We saw the level of racing last season because Zizzle, of course, taking the win last season around there. Kian ending up getting overtaken on the final lap of the race, I think the final corner, on the drag to the line because Zizzle just pulling away on that final lap of the race to end up getting the victory. I remember it was 3 wide in towards turn number 1 as well. But yeah, Qatar certainly going to deliver in terms of the driving standards. Then we've got Hungary after that. My question to the drivers is, are they hungry for more?
And there's no PSGL, PSF1 stream or any PSGL stream without James Head with his puns. He had a lot of puns in F2 in the chat earlier, so welcome back, James. It's great to have you here. So we will let
any other way.
Yes, so we will let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening, but on behalf of everybody, all the drivers, all the commentators, thank you so much for everyone for watching Japan this week. And don't worry, we got some more action coming up this week. We have got the E-Series on Wednesday as they have their opening round of the championship in Bahrain. We got Nathan Richards, Richie and Joshua Birch taking you through that one. 5 esports pro teams and 5 community teams going up against each other. Full qualifying, 50% race. It's going to be absolutely epic. And then we got round 2 of Qatar for the PC tiers on Thursday. And then you're back with us. It's like we've gone full circle on Monday for the PS tiers. For myself and James, sorry. Oh my God. We're going to have to go now. We will see you soon. Have a good evening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Desperately trying to hang on. He's got the inside. Oh, here he's through on the left-hand side. Hooks the apex, gets on the power nicely, and that is job done. Jarno Opmeer now to the last couple of corners now. His finest drive, his greatest drive, and he's done it at the Circuit of the Americas. He returns to the top step of the podium. Once again, the GOAT is back. Jarno Opmeer wins the US Grand Prix in a stunning Grand Prix.